Good afternoon all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon. August 6th, we are looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and triple Qs. And new all-time high for the Dow and the S&P today. We gap higher, we barely fill the gap, horrendous volume, 11 wide park. However, we could make fun of this lack of tempo and buyers and whatnot. But the bottom line is this. We now have all three time frames up again in the S&P. We didn't even come close to getting and testing the price probe from yesterday. Right? You had a 13 wide park in ES yesterday. Probe 70 cents and don't even come back to sniff it. That's impressive. So we can say whatever we want about buyers with the volume, no tempo, but they are firmly in control. Triple Q is a little disappointing. It looks like they made a new all-time high in the pre-market by like 4 cents, but it's close. But they opened, they have end up with lower value on the day. They actually went trend at one point in C period, and they ripped lower in D, only to have E fill it, and then they just traded sideways. They end 10 wide with lower value. Russell, if ever there was a trade and I tried to get in it, Russell opened and just gunned. I said the first destination is the 50-day moving average. They couldn't get to it fast enough, and it didn't come back. It came back just probably faster than it went up. And I tried to get I should have just bought a put. But I tried to buy the 225 straddle. I didn't get it. And then, boom, that was it. You talk about a risk-reward trade against a visual level. Boy, did they come off at $2 real fast. Actually, more than $2. They came off $3 off of that in a period. Amazing. As far as us, we gapped higher, filled the gap, and did nothing. First 5 time frames, back and forth. Then they tried to 1 time frame up. Couldn't get the high. 1 time frame down. Couldn't get the low. We did not take out the IB today. I do not know the last time that's happened. I put it out there on Twitter. Nobody answered me. One of the traders in my room only went back to early May. So it's before May that we didn't take out our IB. I know it's very rare. But if anybody knows, do me a favor. Please comment on this video or on Twitter to me and let me know the last time ES and or SPY did not take out either side of their IB. I made 2 trades today. That's it. Both in A. And had a good day because one of them was of good size. I took a small long initially, the 442 calls, which paid, and then when A came down, I said if we fill this gap, I want to see the first time with higher value and the price probe. I think they'll probably bounce off it. I bought 150 of the 441 calls as soon as we filled the gap. I was in the money right away, went back. Now I was like, well, I want to see what happens. Got back, I was taking it off as it went up, went to the opening, and when we started that back and forth through the opening, took the rest off, put it to bed real quick, but it was a really nice trade on a size play of 150 calls. And then nothing, and I mean nothing, interested me. B, C, D, E, nothing. Now, I know a lot of people like to do that trade to short it before the high or long it before the low. Those of you who have been following me for these last couple of years here on YouTube know that I like to see the new low and then fade it if they don't get anything, or again, the new high and then fade it if they don't get anything. If it doesn't happen, I don't do anything. We had a $1.14 range, I think, today, or $1.18. Horrendous range, horrendous volume. There's no reason to go looking for a trade. I said in my room, I had a really bad day on Tuesday. I didn't get it all back this week, but I had a very good trade in A. But just because there's no way I'm looking or forcing a trade because I want to get that trade back from Tuesday. So I didn't. That's all. Just watch. Unless something came my way, and it didn't. As far as destinations, and again, we're going to go over all of these reference points, all of these charts today. So We have one and only one all-time, one upside destination, 442.94, which is now a weekly high and our all-time high. Downside, 442.45, 11 wide at Jay's low for me in SPY. 441.80, yesterday's low. And then 441.14, the price probe from yesterday. 440.81, 12 wide in SPY. 439.88 daily low. 439.65, 10 wide. Remember that naked POC. We still have it from this day. We closed below it, opened above it, have not seen it since. 438.73 daily low. 438.72 to 67. You think this was a little nuance? Back on the 4th, we never filled those single prints, my friends. It's held. We went up $4 since then. And then 436.10, which is this week's low and just above the balance low. So now, let's go and recap all three of these indices charts. We'll start like we usually do with the Russell. Russell's obviously, right, the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, we've all hit highs recently. Not so in the Russell. Russell is March 15th. So we're coming up on almost 4 months. And they're $10 off it. The monthly is still in balance. It's going to be in balance for a while. Because the entire balance, these last 5 months, including this month so far, is inside of March's range. That's your balance. They can't get out of it. So until you take out the all-time high or take out 207.21 to the downside, we're in balance. It's a big balance. Weekly, we stopped one time framing down this last week to put us back in balance. Now this week we took out last week's high. So again, balances are very subjective. A lot of people will call this up because now we're one time framing up 2 weeks after coming into balance last week. So you can call it up, or you can still call it a 4-week balance and see if we get above the 226.89 level first. Nobody's wrong, nobody's right. Well, I should say everybody's right, however you see it. Either up or balance. Because they're still struggling, I think I would still call this balance in Russell. So monthly balance, weekly balance. And then on the daily, it's firmly balanced. Yes, we're one time framing up 2 days, but again, we got right up to that 50, got smacked down. I would use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. I would say we're in a 7-day balance, stretched it a little bit this morning, but closed inside of it. So all 3 time frames, as I see it in the Russell, are balanced. And they have been. And what does that mean? It's a market waiting for more market-generated information. That's it. Let's go to the triple Qs. The monthly's one time framing up 3 months, including this month. They're very healthy. Weekly. Now, we had an outside week up 2 weeks ago. We didn't do much with it last week. We did make a new high this week. We did close back inside of last week's range. So again, because we made the all-time high and there's nothing much above us, I will call the weekly up. And it's going to be the same in SPY. You'll see that. So monthly is up, weekly is up. The way I'm not giving buyers the benefit of the doubt in Russell because they're struggling, and I call that balance, I'm giving the buyers the benefit of the doubt in triple Qs because they've at least have shown the ability to make new all-time highs. So monthly up, weekly up. Daily, however, just came back into balance. We took out yesterday's low. So it's a 3-day balance, I would call it. Wednesday's low, because we got into Wednesday's range, and Thursday's high. So monthly up, weekly up, daily balance in the triple Qs. Now let's go to SPY and ES. Remember a while back with Russell how stretched out it was getting on the monthly, and I know for a fact so many people were getting hurt because they just kept shorting it. I'm trying to think which time, when it was. I'm not sure if it was here or here, but we got it just kept going up. I think it was this move up off of March of 20s range, when we had 1 month down and we just kept going up. And I said, you can't fight it until you come into balance. And what have we done the last 5 months? All we've done is come into balance. We haven't even taken out March's low. Well, it's the same here with SPY. Stop fighting this. We're one time framing up 10 months, including this month. And 13 out of the last 15. Everybody's looking to try to be the hero to short the high, the all-time high. Who cares about the all-time high? Wait till it at least comes into balance for two-sided trade. And then if it ever comes out of balance to the downside, that's when you jump on board with your bigger size. Monthly, up. Weekly, up. Outside week up 2 weeks ago. Took out last week's, the previous week's high last week. And again, we took it out again this week. And we close above it. So firmly up in the weekly. So monthly up, weekly up in the SPY. Daily. 10-day balance we had. Yesterday we stretched it slightly. Today we stretched it more and closed above it. We just went from a 10-day balance to up. So everybody who's looking for the market to just roll over and come in 10%, I'll say for the 10,000th time, markets do not go bull bear. We just went from bull to balance back to bull. You're going to have to come into balance before you even attempt to go bear. And it's going to have to start on the shortest time frame, which is the daily. Now, again, the volume's horrendous, 46 million. The volume this week was one of the lightest since early June. I know that could become a factor in the bigger picture, no doubt. But for now, all 3 time frames are up. Hope you had a great week trading. Thank you for the likes and subscribing to this channel. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.